flange joint here.
Yeah.
This box is going. None of that.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Archie Hamilton Racing and to another video where behind me you can see I have my Audi Rs6 Avant. Should we just say new Audi Rs6 in this video, because this is the latest and greatest Rs6 model and I absolutely love it. I've owned it now for it's been roughly 3 months, and the car, we picked it up, it was black, it had the sort of diamond cut wheels, it's a carbon edition car. Then we went and did more modifications such as wheels, splitter, wrap, side skirts, rear sort of canards, rear sort of splitter, all of it. We went to town with the car. A lot of you guys have been asking the question of, well, how are you going to make this car louder? Because the old Rs6, let's not be dishonest here, was a lot better sounding than this. This really isn't the same as the old Rs6 in terms of noise. It's got more sort of, I reckon it's got more looks, but it doesn't have as much noise. And where we're going today, we are heading to Quicksilver Exhaust Systems. These guys have done my Range Rover Sport SVR, they've done my Audi R8, they've done my M2. They kind of do my exhaust on my cars. And we're going there today because we want to get more noise out of the Rs6, and we're going to find out exactly how we do that in today's video. And here it is, we are here in the middle of, well, we're just outside Guildford at the moment, but how good does the Rs6 look with the khaki green wrap, with, well, the running lights have, I think, have I left the car on? I might have actually left it on. No, I haven't, I don't think I have. But anyway, it looks really, really good, doesn't it? And it's actually filthy. I've been doing a lot more miles in it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I've done 1,500 miles to be precise, or nearly 1,500 miles, but it's mega. I love the way it looks with the splitter, with the Vossen wheels, and this khaki green wrap, which actually looks a little bit different now because it is filthy. And I've not shown you this car filthy, to be honest, but it still works really well. And I think personally, it's not coming across great on camera, me looking into the lens right now, but the khaki green, for me, works well, and it's a winter colour. I'm going to spice it up again next year. I've got a few ideas. You're going to think I'm absolutely mad. So like I say, this car is a carbon edition car. This car comes with the sports exhaust, which means you get the black tips on the back there. And we're going to talk about how we can actually keep the OEM look, because I don't want to just go and sort of ruin that. You can get carbon tips. I'm not sure on that. I kind of still like the fact of the OEM look, so I might not do that. But again, we are going to try and get more sound out of this car because it's a mega daily, it's a mega sort of family car, let's say. It's got the looks, but at the moment, it does not have the noise whatsoever. We're going to jump in, we're going to rev it, so we're going to see, but because I've never really done that, and I'm going to prove to you exactly why this does not have the noise. Okay, that's from the outside. Now we're going to sit inside, and that's on dynamic mode. As you can see, just in here, right in there, you can see the car is on dynamic mode. It's got a bit of a sort of rev sort of limiter, so you can't even go past 4,000 revs when you're revving it when it's in this mode. And then we go to drive select, which is just down here. We go to comfort. The exhaust turns off completely. Still sounds okay, but nothing insane. What I want is from the guys at Quicksilver to get this exhaust so when it's on comfort mode, it's still a luxury to drive. I kind of had that in all my cars. It's all fun and games having an exhaust on a car, just as long as you can turn it off. Because when you're on a motorway and you've got a drone, you're like, it starts to really grind away at you. And when you have passengers in the back, I feel sorry for them because, what? What'd you say, mate? Can't hear ya. It's just not ideal. I'm here at Quicksilver, just arrived. I haven't been here for ages, just having a catch up with the boys. And what they're doing, they're going to get the car on the ramp, and then we're going to get sort of looking underneath and working out what we can do in terms of getting this baby to look good. Because listen to the fans. We're just saying how loud the fans are on this car. They were all just admiring the colour of colour of the car, which is quite cool. Everyone always likes, even you guys online, really appreciate that. First colour anyone's ever thought I've done a good job. What they have outside here, they have an i8. I like the i8. I really do like the i8, and it's cool that they're doing so many different systems. But what I did say to Ollie, I said, mate, you need some tints on your car. And he's like, no, I don't, shut up. And I was like, okay, I'll shut up. Here, when you move the car along, there is just no noise. It's got nothing to it. It's got nothing to it, that car. Oh, on she goes. There we go. We had to have a little bit of help here. Check this out. That is awesome. Apparently this has only done 800 miles. If you're going around in that, you are causing absolute chaos. And the doors come off. Ollie, what's this called?
This
I will get Ollie in properly. Hello, mate.
Yes. Welcome back.
Yeah. What is this?
This is a 1990 G-Wagon Wolf. Well, it's a Scout. And it's a ridiculous folding windscreen G-Wagon.
You were showing me earlier, these doors come off.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you feel that you don't want any doors, it's that easy. And the windscreen folds flat on it. It's
Do they go back on or?
Yeah.
That is, but you're not straight piping it.
No, it's a diesel.
Mate, you can always do it.
2.4 non-turbo diesel. There's nothing in the world you can do to make this thing sound good.
But it is only 800 miles.
All got the Singapore military. So,
Really?
Yeah, and now I'm going to rest them on it. It's going to look very different in a couple of months' time.
Chrome wrap?
Yeah, chrome wrap and 30-inch dogs.
Right, so what we're going to do, well, we've got the car up on the ramp. We're going to talk to you about what we're going to be doing here because, well, it's going to be a system, Ollie, which is a little bit different. We're developing a system.
From scratch.
From scratch.
With your input.
Which my input, which is cool. And your input, if you get involved in the comments, because like I say, this is going to be happening very, very shortly. And we're going to just do something and get a tone out of this car, which you love talking about tone, don't you?
I love it.
You love talking about tone. But this is what we want. We want something good because this car at the moment is very, very quiet. And yeah, you're the man.
All right.
Man about the tone.
We'll go underneath the car, have a look. Now we've come prepared for this. We've got an OEM regular exhaust here. Archie's car has the optional sports exhaust on it. We can have a look, see what's going on between the two systems. I don't think there's going to be very much difference between the two. I think it's all on the valve programming is the sports system.
Do you actually reckon? Do you reckon that?
Yeah, so on the Porsche 992s, the optional sports exhaust is just a reprogramming on the valve, same part number.
Ah. We like it.
So we'll have a look, we'll see what's going on under here. So, follow me.
Yeah.
So, we're going to start, because you don't want to mess with remapping it or tuning it or anything like that.
No, absolutely not.
That means we're not touching these with the GPF filters.
Because if you touch these and you take these out, you then have to map it to turn it all off and then your warranty's gone. Exactly
right. So they're monitored by the O2 sensors up here. So you've got a pair of cats. You got these are staying. We're not going to touch these.
We're not straight piping it today.
No, this is purely a design thing. We're going to spec out this exhaust, kind of have a chat about your requirements, and we'll design something wicked. So we're going to come from here back. This flange joint here. This box is going. None of that.
Yeah, so you get rid of this.
Yeah, getting rid of that.
That obviously holds so much sound, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've got a chamber and perforation in here, which is really dropping the volume and also stopping a lot of the bass coming through, which you want. You want to hear that kind of power.
Yeah, definitely. And then we have these big old back boxes. Is that what it's called?
Yes, exactly right. You've got one on the side, and then we've also got this transverse silencer here, which again features chambering. So there's just a hell of a lot of silencing going on here.
Yeah.
So I think probably we'll see how we go, but I think I don't mind doing away with that. It'll shed some unnecessary weight.
And the weight saving is massive. That's one thing which we did when you did my Audi R8, and that was insane. I remember when you said pick up the standard system, so the car with the one that came off the car, and which I couldn't actually pick up.
Yeah.
Then I went to go and pick up your system, and I could pick it up with one hand, and yeah.
22 kilo weight saving, I think it was.
22 kilos. Well, I bicep curl 30s, but that's fine. Yeah, I won't bicep curling that. And what are we going to do in terms of with these? Because I actually started this video saying I want to keep the OEM tips, but I kind of think if they're carbon, they might look quite cool.
Might look quite cool, and we're kind of, again, we're on the fence about whether we want to do a kind of pair of shotgun tips or keep an OE style. So we'll offer some.
But can you make these here? Can you make those carbon and have the same shape?
Well, that'd be one of the things to have a look at. Carbon is one of the only things we don't make in house. So
okay, so the only requirement I have is that the exhaust shape looks the same. So if you could get that in carbon, I'll have it carbon. If you can't, then I'll leave it like that.
We'll have a little look, see what we can do, have a look at the presses.
I wouldn't just have normal pipes out the back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, got it. No, we can replicate the shape, that's no trouble.
So we will show what we've got off another Rs6 here. Yeah. I bet that's quite heavy. Try and pick it up.
Alright, let's have a go. Awkward shape as well, isn't it? Oh, it's a porker.
You see, that's heavy. If you took these out in terms of, took this and things like that, it's a big old system.
Yeah.
Woo!
There's centre box, transverse box, 2 rears. You've got a lot of weight in there. We can definitely get rid of some of that.
So how much weight saving are we going to say?
Yeah, I mean, typically on something like that, if you look at the Range Rovers, we're saving between 5 and 10 kilos a system.
Really?
This is similar in terms of size, but ultimately we won't know the final figure until we've got it and we've weighed them both together.
This car, actually, before we say, this is going to be the development car for this. You need to do a system. Ideally, you need a car. If you don't have a car, it makes life a little bit harder. So I've sold them the car. Joking. Yeah. Tell us how we're doing it.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, because we don't want to have your car for weeks and weeks on end, so the first thing we're going to do using this stock pattern is we're going to just start tracking and programming the bend line. So we'll take a look at how all this pipe work is routed and get all that programmed into the bender so we can spit it out again and again for commercial production. Next we'll look at remodelling the silencers, and at that point we're going to bring in your car. Because this is where we're going to get the biggest difference in shape and tone. This is going regardless, I guarantee you this is not going to be on our system.
A nice straight pipe.
Straight pipes through here with either an X pipe or a little balance pipe, just depending on how it sounds. There's quite a lot of trial and error involved in exhaust.
Yeah.
That will help shape some of the T-word, tone.
He loves tone. Mr. Tone. But that is going to get the noise out of it. How long does it take to get a car from how it is sitting up there to developed and a new system that people can go and buy? Because I'm sure a lot of people will want an Rs6 system.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. when they've heard it, yeah.
So the process takes sometimes up to a month, sometimes many months, depending on how complex the development is.
Yeah.
We're streamlining it by doing a lot of the bend line tracking off the car, and we're going to bring your car in for probably a couple of weeks just to allow that trial and error process to happen.
Yeah. And do you think that we're going to get the tone? Because what I want in terms of, I mean, I sound like a sport kid, but what I would ideally like on this is on comfort for the car to turn off. Because, and I'm sure a lot of Rs6 owners are out there, they're going to think exactly the same thing. Because it's the sort of car, it's a daily, you want to turn it off when you're sort of taking the kids to the shop or whatever. But then when you go to dynamic, perfect, and so it's still going to be a valved system?
Yes, so we will be retaining these. So these are the latest SBS valves that you find in Audis. We will be replicating all of this casting and this base plate here, so you can just transplant your original actuator straight back onto the car, or again, depending on how the development shapes up, we may supply it with the actuator on. You just plug in your original harnesses and the valve control will work the way Audi intended. The car will be our demonstrator car.
Yeah.
It's one that will feature in all our videos, and once it's done, that design is fixed, and you can then buy an exact plane of Archie's system.
There we go. Just come into the warehouse. We're just going to show you a little bit of behind the scenes here. These are Bentayga pipes.
Bentayga pipes, but we're gonna, because the Bentayga's got the same engine, we're just gonna offer them up and just have a look if there's any similarity between the Bens there.
Really?
Yeah, it's worth a look.
And they're perfect for my thumbnail. Yeah. These are all the valves. Lovely valves.
Lovely valves.
Oh, here he is.
These are the ones that are going in your car.
Ah!
Those are the exact ones.
Those are the old bad boys. Lovely. Perfect. Okay, so you've got those in there. And then lots of, hang on, we're going down here. We've got some pipes down here. What are these from?
Alright, let me tell you. DB5, 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 DB6.
How the hell do you know that? You are very, yeah, exhaust friendly.
This is the exhaust graveyard. This is prototypes that we've either rejected or are yet to go back. So those are, in fact,
that's off an RS.
With that.
What's that off?
It's an SVR system.
Is that mine?
No, it's not. It actually isn't your one. This is an old pre-production.
So you use that on the SVR?
Yeah, that was a prototype.
Lovely. This is like MTV Cribs. round Quicksilver. But wow, this is where it all gets distributed, all sent out, and everything else.
You guys don't want to wait, so if your car's in for service, I'll get one of these to the States within a day, I'll get them to the Far East within 3 days, and everything's here. You've got Astons, Range Rovers, all built, boxed, ready to go.
There we go, Mr. Tone. So what a day it has been down at Quicksilver Exhaust. I hope you guys liked it. A little bit of an insight to sort of the behind the scenes of how we are going to be developing this exhaust system. I seem to do this quite a lot. Every time before I get an exhaust, I kind of always like to go and see the product which I'm doing, but this was just a little bit even more special because I had my own input. I could really say to Quicksilver, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is, you know, and bits and pieces, rather than just getting an off-the-shelf exhaust and it has a drone or anything else. This is sort of mine and their input to make the best system possible for the Audi RS6 Avant, the new one, obviously. So it's going to be cool, it's going to sound good, and it just needs more character. This car already is so good looking and I love it to pieces. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, but the noise is just the last thing missing, and those guys are going to smash it out of the park like they always do. They've never let me down with any exhaust. It has always sounded incredible. This is going to be happening in the new year, so it's not weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks away. It's fairly imminent when they're going to have the car, take this car in, and then start getting going with it and go from there. So you guys will be the first to be updated. But like I say, check them out down below, Quicksilver Exhaust, and I hope you are excited. Leave your comments, give this video a thumbs up, guys. I'll see you all very soon.